So once again, today we are now looking at a new chapter that is about quadratic equations. Quadratic equations. That's what we are starting with. Quadratic equations. After quadratic equations, we shall go to linear equations. But with quadratic equations, they are not new. You learned them also at O level. We are also developing on them. Quadratic equations are equations with the highest power of 2. The power must be a positive and not a negative. And the power goes on reducing from 2 up to the power of 0. So we can go and say quadratic equations, these are equations. These are equations with the highest power of 2, with the highest power of 2. The power must be a positive. The power must be a positive and not a negative. And not a negative. Quadratic equations are in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. You can see in this scenario, that x squared started with the highest power of 2. It went on reducing to the power of 1. Then here there is a power of 0. So you can say this is a quadratic equation in terms of x. So how forming the quadratic equations? We are going to look at forming quadratic equations. So we're going to look at how can we form quadratic equations. So there are two ways of forming a quadratic equation. I will give you all the methods, then you will see which one is good for you to go with. And start with examples. Example 1. Form a quadratic equation. Whose roots are 3 and 4. Whose roots are 3, 4. Now you can see that they want us to form a quadratic equation whose roots are 3 and what? And 4. For this case, what you do, you can let any variable of your own choice. You can say let x equals these roots, or let y, or let p. It will depend on for you. You want a quadratic equation to be in terms of what? In which variable? In y, x, z, p, or what? So for me, I will say let the roots, let x be the roots, or you can say let the roots be in terms of x. I can say x equals, the first one is 3. Bring this one here, I can say x minus 3 equals 0. I say this is the first equation. Again, x equals 4. Bring this side, x minus 4 equals 0. This is the second equation. Then from there, I will say equation 1 times 2. Let me put it here. I can say equation 1 times 2. So can we multiply equation 1 times 2? What is the equation 1 saying? Equation 1 is saying x minus 3 times again x minus 4 equals 0 times 0, we are getting a 0. So opening, we are using layman's understanding. How do you open? We shall start by saying x into x minus 4, again minus 3 into x minus 4 equals 0. So can we open the brackets very well? This becomes x squared minus 4x minus 3x A negative times a negative, we are getting a plus 12 equals 0. Again, we collect like terms. This becomes x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. You can see it is a quadratic equation in terms of x. So that is the first option which I can give you. Then I can give you the alternative. Then I will use those two methods in the first two examples. Then for you, when you are calculating more, you will choose which one is the best for you. As I already said that let our x be, the equation be in terms of x. We have got the roots are 3 and 4. You can first get sum of roots. Let's look at sum of roots. Sum of roots you add, you get 3 plus 4, you are coming down to 7. We also get the product of roots. Products of roots is going to be 3 times 4. We are coming out with 12. Then our quadratic equation is given by, x squared, because I've said that, minus sum of roots x plus the product equals 0. Then we are free to substitute in. We have already got our sum as 7 and we have also got our product as 12. Then we are free to substitute in. This becomes x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0, which is the same as in the first. So it will depend on you which one is the best method for you to go on. But as I said, in the first two examples, I'm going to be using the two methods. Then it will be upon you to choose which one is good for you to go with. That's the way how we form quadratic equations as we're going to go to the next example. Example 2. Example 2 still goes from a quadratic equation. Form a quadratic equation whose roots are, and divide here. Example 2. Form an equation whose roots are 3 over 2, a half. So you can still get a variable which you want the quadratic equation to be in. Still I can say let my roots be in terms of, let the roots be in terms of x. That's what I've again chosen, in terms of x. So we can say x equals 3 out of 2. I can cross multiply, then I bring this times this, I get 2x equals 3, bring this one, I get 2x minus 3 equals 0. This is the first. Again, I also say x equals 1 out of 2, cross multiply, you get 2x equals 1. Bring this side 2x minus 1. When this one comes here, it becomes a negative, equals 0. This is the second. Then I will say equation 1 times 2. Equation 1 times 2, we go on. This is 2x minus 3. Again times 2x minus 1 equals 0. Because 0 times 0 times 0, are also coming out with a 0. So we use Rayman's understanding to open. We say this is 2x into 2x minus 1. Again here this is minus 3 into 2x minus 1 equals 0. So we are free now to open brackets. 2x times 2x, we are getting 4x squared minus 2x. Again, a negative 3 times that, you are getting negative 6x. A negative times a negative, we are getting positive 3 equals 0. So what are we having now? We are having 4x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals 0. So you can see this is how I formed the quadratic equation in terms of x. Then I can give you the alternatively, where we're going to use the idea of the sums and products. And I know some of you like that one because some of you are lazy, you don't want to always multiply, but get used with multiplying. Multiplication is always the cheapest. So we shall say sum of roots. So I'll start with sum of roots. Sum of roots is, we are going to add those two. We are going to say 3 out of 2 plus 1 out of 2. The LCM is 2. This divide plus that one, you're getting the 4, which comes out as a 2. We also come to product of roots. I can say product of roots. I'm abbreviating this as PDT, means product of roots. We are multiplying those roots, 3 out of 2 times 1 out of 2. When you multiply, what are you getting? You're getting 3 out of 4. Then we use our formula, which we know that is x squared minus sum of roots x plus the product equals 0. So what is the sum of roots? Sum of roots is already 2. Then we go with substituting x squared minus 2x plus our product is already 3 out of 4. The whole thing equals 0. Then from there, you are free to multiply with the LCM. The LCM is 4. Multiply out by 4, by 4, by 4, by 4, everywhere. So when we multiply, what happens? It becomes 4x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals 4 times 0, we are getting the 0 as before. So you can easily choose which one is the best for you when you are forming the quadratic equations. So when I'm proceeding with other examples, I'm not going to be using the two alternatives. I would beg you to use what is right for you, but for me, I will use the first method. Okay, let's go to example 3. Example 3, form an equation